Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, I just wanted to take a closer look at this Data East Hits handheld. This is a Pixel Classic My Arcade. It comes with 300 built-in games. I picked it up second-hand. Yeah, these things are quite expensive and I found it for a very bargain price. Yeah, everything is loose, so the previous owner I think he didn't really save the plastic, so this is basically what we're going to get in the inside. So let's get this thing out of here. And what I do like about it comes with some licensed games. For example, Bad Dudes vs Dragon Ninjas. Then we're having the Caveman, Burger Time. So there are a couple of cool games on it. B-Wings. Oh man, that brings back so many good memories. So the handheld general is not bad at all. The construction wise is very sturdy and it looks very nice. So we do have only compartment for 4 AA batteries. No a BL5C battery that we've seen with the Chinese handhelds. That's kind of funny that we also having none of these things official release having a built-in battery. I think it's going to be a reason maybe for, let's say, certificates you're going to get selling this in certain kind of regions. So batteries is more easy to sell this thing without batteries. So here we have adding some text with playtime will vary depending on the brand of battery used. So it's kind of funny they add this. I did mention this a couple of times in my videos because it's so true. It's just 8-bit stuff. So we do have an A and B. Unfortunately, there's no turbo button. The reset over here and then the start, and the D-pad feels kind of interesting. Here you can see do have an okay touch to it. Volume control, and that's it basically. We're having the on and off switch, but I do like the options. We're going to put it all the way to the right. We're going to get ourselves the light up feature. It's not super bright. Then of course the input for the micro USB. Didn't even came with a micro USB cable, but okay. And then we have the option for an AV out. But let's try this one out. There is no cable for it, or there's not in this kit, so I have one laying around. But let's boot it up. So they are using a very cheap, piece of plastic at the front. It is very thin and flexible, so if accidentally you put it in your pocket and something touches or spikes into this, absolutely it will damage the front glass, and also it will damage the LCD. So the viewing angle is a little bit better than with your typical, Chinese 8-bit system. So don't get me wrong, it's not an IPS panel, what you can see over here, but it is slightly better. So booting it up, what you're going to get yourself is the 301 menu. I did review a couple of these, devices, and back in the day, we have this menu that we have the license and more the homebrew games, I just love to call them, or say new games. So at the first page, we do have all of the games that they were promising, Bad Dudes, Breakthrough, Curled Monkey, and here we're going to get yourself the Mumbo Jump, all the stuff that you're thinking, yeah, is this something you should be happy with? So Thunderman, a couple of those games, I wouldn't be surprised that they having this, let's say, restyled games. But we're going to get some weird stuff like Invincible Girl, Jumping Kid, stuff like that. The list, what I do need to mention is we're having the Chinese having 600 games built in, but they're double, having a shitload of double games. And what I have seen now, we're actually having 300 games. There are too many of them to show you in this video, but I will give you a quick overview with official games, of course, and then of course we'll have a couple of those a weird looking ones like Primitive Man, what the hell is that? Nevertheless, let's take a close look at some other stuff and let's play some games. I didn't mention before, at the front we do have a tiny speaker for mono audio. When you're looking at the volume, you do have a couple of levels, but there is nothing much going on over here. There is no indication how loud it is, and it sounds okay. So let's start with some Bad Dudes. There is no way for adding a second controller, so if there are games having a second controller, no option. Kind of funny, so when you're looking at the display, you do see some dark spots in here, so I don't know what's going on over here, but I can tell you it's not good. The overall performance of the games are pretty damn good. They didn't mess that up. The D-pad actually plays pretty damn decent. I find a little bit of a bummer that the audio doesn't go that super loud. I found it a big, just a little bit of a bummer about that. Next up, let's try Caveman Ninja. Going to watch and play through the display of my camera because of the glare of this freaking thing. It's so difficult to play, basically to hold this thing from an angle. Plus I never played it as a child, this game, so it's kind of cool to revisit these games. I can remember they said, is it not like the same game like Joe and Mac, but I also played the arcade version on the Games arcade machine. Oh man, the dark stain is still in here. I can still remember, like, you could basically like choose a kind of an upgrade from the start. And if I don't mess it up, I can shoot, or yeah. Beginning, if you're going to press B, you're going to get rid of your upgrade. As a child, I did play a couple of times this game. It's kind of cool. Let's get rid of the super, yeah! But a kind of interesting concept. Alright, so next up, let's try a little bit of Burger King. I'm just gonna be honest, I didn't play this a lot. Oh man, come on. That was pretty damn hard to like move around here. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, there we go. Move! You piece of shit. Ah, come on, man. I love how they add these crappy games like The Man in Red. And you're just going to get stuff like that. So that's a little bit of a bummer. So you have like a couple of licensed games and that's it. You know, all the other ones are just crappy versions. So every time you reset it, and I find it kind of interesting, it will remember which like game you last played. That is something the Chinese version don't have. And yeah, that's kind of interesting. So we have like multiple games called UFO, but so far I know it's not the same. So, but I can also be honest, like I've been messing around with these things for quite a long time now, and I must say that I find it not like an interesting, let's say game list when it comes to these, let's say homebrew made slash weird looking games. So I'm just being honest, like this is the biggest bummer of these things, that we have like a shitload of these crappy games. Okay, so we just need to talk about the manual. What I do like about these licensed products, we do get like at least a decent manual, yeah, in different languages. That this explains basically how you need to place the batteries. Kind of pointless, but okay, for me at least. Let's get some rip and tear going on over here, and let's do a quick teardown. Just wanted to show you how this thing has been assembled. So I'm just going to be honest, like this thing is absolutely disappointing in many different ways. Like there are some cool classic games on it, but all the other ones are absolutely crappy. The stuff that we have seen before, like on these Famicom from AliExpress, mostly like this HDMI or a newer generation, they don't implement games at all, or just those crappy ones. Okay, so let's get the show on the road. So basically, like part of it has been clicked, and four basically Parkers hold this in place. So, but kind of funny, there was nothing much in the inside, like one gigantic PCB board. Then we're having like this speaker that is like a 1.25 watts. Also explains why this thing doesn't have like a lot of punch when it comes to the overall like performance of the audio. It's absolutely like, yeah, to cry for. I wish they added like a better speaker, more like volume. It would be so much better. Let's get these things away here. Need like remove another Parkers for basically removing the PCB. Show you like in the inside. There's nothing much to see, but anyway, it's like fun to see. What's interesting, we do have the option to replace the LCD if you want to. That would be not a great idea, because this one does have like a black stain in the inside. With like the black bulb that basically contain all the files, I'm guessing. We don't have like the chip over here. And there we go. Let's zoom in, and basically I don't know what kind of chip it is, but not familiar to me. But basically this is the processor they're using, but not a lot of power, of course, simply because yeah, these things are not like needing a lot of power when it comes to 8-bit stuff. The membranes are like those translucent, like the cheap ones that we've seen with the cheap, let's say, China stuff. This is basically what you're going to get in the inside. The PCB itself has been made in 2017, so this device is quite old already when making this video. Another thing I wanted to show you is the way the construction is. Like here we have like the membranes, like the old school stuff you find in Super NES and Mega Drive controls back in the 90s. So like the same kind of technology, of course. But what's interesting, we do have like the LEDs over here at the left and right for the light up feature. If you're having the right cable that goes into the device itself, you do have the option to plug this thing into your television. I think it's a very cool feature. Sometimes you do see it with different versions when it comes to, let's say, handhelds I buy locally. But this time, it does work. And it comes even with a very good signal. I cannot really always show it perfectly, but when zooming in you don't see any interference, even this is an old school AV out signal. But again, I'm quite surprised to see how good the AV out actually works. I don't know if there's going to be a cable included, because I just bought mine second hand just to get it cheaply, because sometimes these things can be very expensive. I think go up all the way to $30–40. Absolutely crazy. But my arcade did just an amazing job when it comes to the overall, let's say, quality of the image. It's kind of weird that we have a black bar over here. Not a big of a deal, but if you just want to play some old school games on your television, I think it's pretty damn cool and it actually works great. Good audio, nice visual. And I'm even playing on let's say, an LCD. If you're going to play this on a CRT, it's going to be looking even better. And I messed up. When you take a close look at, let's say, the Data East handheld from my arcade, I must say that it's more like a collectible item now. I really love the way how this thing looks. It's not super comfortable to play. Unfortunately, the display or the piece of plastic they're using for the front of it is absolutely cheaply made. You can even see how cheap it is. It's very thin plastic. The audio quality is not really great. So the display, it's nice, but it's basically behind it, the LCD they're using. It's cool that they have some licensed games, but all the other ones are absolutely garbage. But thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of a device like this, and it would be great to see you in the next video.